Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review. And when most people think of a flashlight, they think of something like this, a tube style light with a single battery. But Sofirn have come up with something a bit different. And this is their SE1. And as you can see, it's kind of like a wearable flashlight. It sits on your wrist just like a watch would. And this is what it looks like removed from the mount. You can wear it as a necklace. There's a bunch of accessories included here. And yeah, pretty cool. I think I've never seen something like this before. So in terms of what's included, you have this clip mount here. It's just got a strong magnet on the back, and you've got a lanyard key ring kind of attachment there. This you can use to attach to the side of the light and just wear it as a necklace. So if it include a couple of other little accessories as well that aren't really related. So you have this kind of limited edition anniversary coin, and this is like a carabiner tool. So yeah, this is interesting. It does come with like a blade on it as well. This wouldn't be allowed in Australia, so I'd have to undo this screw and just use it without it. So here's a little close-up of the Sofirn SE1, and the version that Sofirn have sent me is made of copper. So it has a very nice weighted feel, and yeah, it looks way more premium than standard aluminium. And due to the size of this light as well, it's still relatively light. So yeah, it doesn't feel too heavy on your wrist. Kind of feels like a standard watch, I suppose. And yeah, you could also just carry this normally around in your pocket on the clip, maybe clip to your bag or something like that. And just bring it up a little bit closer. Okay, the machining in general is pretty decent at this price point. Okay, but I did notice a couple of spots like here and just on the front, there's a few little notches there that I think could have been tidied up a bit better, with some finer machining. But overall, I think it's been put together quite well. It's IPX5, also has 1.5 meter drop resistance. And attached to the clip there, you can see it's just like a plastic clip with a bit of material there on the back to kind of dampen it. And you can basically just clip the thing onto the wristband like that. I've seen people also wearing it on their upper arm as well. Maybe if you're running and you want it to function as a bit of a hazard light or something like that as well, you can see. So in the center of the light, you've got a single metal switch made of copper. It's an E-switch, and it also functions as a battery and charging indicator here, just through that ring light around the button. And you do have USB-C charging here at the back. I did mention the lanyard attachment area. And looking down the head, it's really difficult to see what LEDs are in there. And Sofirn haven't put any official specs on the instruction manual. But yeah, that one there, I don't know, it almost looks like a round die LED. It's hard to tell. Okay, it could be an SFT12. Who knows? But it does have a decent amount of range considering the tiny little reflector in there. So that's why it makes me think it might be an SFT12. The other one here is a UV LED. Again, not sure of the specifications. You just double press to turn it on. I don't think it's a 365 nanometer UV LED because it just produces a lot of visible light and kind of bluish, purplish. Okay, so a little rundown of the UI. So if you triple press, you can actually electronically lock the light, press, and it just sort of flashes. So triple press again. Okay, it does have memory mode, so a single click will just turn the light on and off on the white LED mode. So you can have it on the 300 lumen mode, which is the max mode like that. Turn it off, turn it back on, and it memorizes that. Or if you just want to go to the lowest mode, just press and hold to cycle in between the modes, essentially. If you double press, you have the UV mode. It's just one setting, single press to turn off. And if you press and hold from off, that's how you get into all these RGB modes. The flashy mode, double press, that goes into this rainbow mode, difficult to see here in camera. Double press, that's like a red mode, which is actually fairly handy at nighttime just to see you know, maybe read a book or something like that. And you have this other kind of fading in and out mode, goes through like different colors, and that's pretty much it. So I ran a ceiling bounce test with the Sofirn SE1 on the high 300 lumen mode, and you can see here the light lasts about a minute on the 100% output before the step down. You can see the light's on about 30% output at the 1.5 minute mark. I also ran some tests on my Opal Lightmaster Pro. You can see on the high mode measured 93 meters of range. Pretty impressive for a little light like this, and the CRI was between 71 to 72. You can see the CCT there is on the cool end, 5,800 to 6,600K. So some considerations if you're thinking of getting the Sofirn SE1. The first one is the band, okay? It's decent. It feels kind of like headband material, okay? But yeah, I just think that maybe the clip could be reinforced a bit more so that it just clips on more firmly. I mean, at the moment, it's fine. It doesn't, you know, it's not going to fall off or run around or, you know, move around, anything like that. But yeah, that's just me. Overall, I think the quality is decent. Like I said, it's headband material, but I do think if they added a few extra bands, maybe something made of some, you know, harder plastic material or even some metal bands as well, that would have been great. And yeah, it just would look better, especially in case this one breaks or if you lose it, that kind of thing. And yeah, speaking about the clip before, you know, I do wish that it was also made out of aluminium. So, you know, it's made out of plastic, which is okay, but you know, you really can't beat aluminium for that extra durability with a lot of those clip lights out there. They are made of aluminium. And another thing I thought of is, why didn't they just put a clock on it? You know, considering that a lot of people are going to wear this on their wrist or maybe on their arm or something like that, I think that would, yeah, just be another sweetener, I guess, in this in this sort of niche. Another consideration is that this clip attachment can be a little awkward if you need this light to be front facing. So yeah, in most orientations, the light is going to kind of point down. So if I sort of clip it to my shirt or something like that, you can see it's very hard to get it to actually face forward. So yeah, unless you sort of clip it to the side of your hat and have this facing forward like that, yeah, it's in a little awkward position. Another consideration is the low brightness and low runtimes on the higher modes. Okay, this thing has a 140 milliamp hour battery. It's non-replaceable, which is a shame, you know, given the light is machined so beautifully. And yeah, the final consideration is the UV mode. You know, personally, I don't need to have a UV mode on my EDC sort of flashlights, but yeah, that's more of a personal preference. I know some people might use it for work and yeah, other purposes, but yeah, I'd prefer that maybe they replace it or maybe they introduce a version as well that has a red LED. But thankfully, you know, the auxiliary red mode there is actually decent for short range, so you can use it for reading a book or map, something like that. So I've been into watches since I was a kid. I've got a small watch collection, nothing fancy, but yeah, I do think Sofirn may have just started a new flashlight trend of these wearable watch style designs, and I think it's really clever and handy at the same time. I've never seen something like this before in terms of flashlight designs. And yeah, I keep thinking in my head of all the different variations and different styles of these kind of wearable flashlights that may come out in the future. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. If you have questions as well, comment below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, click the like button, share it with someone who might be interested. It just helps me to get my channel out to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews, make sure you subscribe. Sofirn SE1, this is the 300 lumen high mode, and pretty impressive range for such a little light. See all the way down the path here, and yeah, the lower modes, you know, that's like a moonlight, low, medium. Okay, the medium's still decent, kind of walking around. Does produce a bit of spill, but yeah, you only get significant spill on the 300 lumen mode. Yeah, interesting choice that they've gone with the cool white emitter and a kind of long range ability. It'd be good if they actually had a maybe like a warm white version, high CRI warm white version. That would be, yeah, that would be awesome. Getting eaten by mosquitoes out here. But yeah, I mean, just with a little walk in the park, you can see it's very easily illuminating pathway, and giving me a bit of throw as well up into the trees. So, you know, if I want to spot some possums or birds, that kind of thing, it is still actually useful, you know, considering how small the little TIR lens is. It's performing pretty well. Sofirn SE1, this is the 300 lumen mode down this little area between two buildings that I found. It's fairly dark. It's just a kind of urban shot. But yeah, it's more to show the beam profile you can see, which is more long range or focused in. You can see into like a intense hotspot. There is a bit of spill on the lower modes, but it's difficult to capture here on camera. That's your medium mode, where you're going to get a bit more spill that's actually useful. Yeah, it's surprisingly powerful for these long range sort of shots, which I wasn't expecting. I thought that Sofirn will go with a more floody kind of approach, so I think some people will like this and some people won't, but yeah, regardless, I think it's pretty impressive for a little, you know, tiny little light like this.